This is Jonathan Small here doing the Small Report, the second show of the season. Today is July the 10th, 2012. It's a very nice, sunny, warm, balmy day in the capital city. I'm very thankful and blessed to be here again. Basically, Hartford, Connecticut is the capital city of Connecticut. And basically today we had a new police chief sworn in. The acting intern police chief, James Rovella, has taken over the past 6 months here in Hartford since the last police officer or the police chief had retired. And basically today he was officially named the new police chief here in Hartford. So that's just one phase of where we're trying to move at with public safety and try to bridge a long-standing relationship, hopefully with a new police chief that can really get the job done with the support of the community. There's many different issues that I would like to address, but I try to get to the key areas that might be relevant to many people that's tuning into this program. Connecticut, again, is a very small state. We have about 3.5 million people. We are known as the Nutmeg State, and basically we have some major corporations here in Connecticut that many people throughout the world is well familiar of. We have ESPN, one of the largest sports entertainment companies in the world. We will be bringing in very soon NBC Sports Network, where they will be bringing in their new division down in Stamford. And they're going to be bringing in a lot of different jobs and a lot of different opportunities to branch out in the media industry. We're home to the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, that has basically taken over the whole wrestling market. We have the Yes Network, which is the largest regional sports network in the world, owned by the New York Yankees. So we have a lot of things throughout Connecticut that many people are very familiar of throughout the world. Basically, I would like to see some changes in our core cities to really make our cities more flourishable, comparable to the suburbs and the surrounding towns. We have Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport, Waterbury, Stamford, some of the largest urban cities in our state. We're trying to really move in a different direction here in Connecticut. Our governor is trying to bring in a lot of new businesses, a lot of different corporations to try to make our state more globally competitive with different tax strategies. But there's still a lot of underlying issues that, Hartford and many other places in this state is not much different than any other particular place. But I think in anything in life, you always have to make the best of what you have to try to always improve with what you have going for you and try to make the scenario a lot more better. Basically, I'm broadcasting this show right now from downtown Hartford. We have the Bushnell, we have Capital Community College, we have the library, one of the best libraries in the state. We have a lot of people moving back into downtown. We have a lot of growth that is trying to get started. So Hartford, Connecticut is trying to actually be a comeback city. And basically there's a lot of issues that I would like to advocate towards of real diversity, making sure that all racial, ethnic groups are equally empowered. Connecticut is a very, diversified state. We have, like I mentioned last week, a large Caribbean population, a large Hispanic population. We don't have the large growth of population of people moving into our state, but we still have a large diversified population. So basically just reporting to you on the basic everyday issues that, our state has been going through for a very long time. We're trying to diversify our economy. Our airport has a new economic development department. We switch from our airport being operated and run by the state to a new authority, and hopefully, some changes could be looking prosperous in the very near future with that new switch to the different authority that's taking over. But I guess like any other particular place, people want jobs, people want opportunities. And the question is, why is it still so difficult, even though we have some of the largest corporations here in Connecticut, UTC, United Technology, ESPN Sports, it's just still a challenge for the everyday person to be able to get his foot in the door, to get the type of job opportunities that you really would need, and to really flourish. I mean, I don't know what the case is throughout the entire country. I would assume it's not that much different. But basically, on any given day, Monday through Friday, in the cities, you go down to your Department of Social Services headquarters, and the line is a mile long. I mean, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, there's about 75 people standing in line waiting, looking for any assistance that they can get. And I think that has been a dramatic change, because basically one time our Department of Social Service headquarters building, which is located down on North Main Street, was the headquarters of the Fuller Brush manufacturing plant. And that manufacturing plant has left Connecticut and took a lot of jobs away. And I guess manufacturing changes through technology and globalization has affected a lot of people throughout the country. And it's still a dramatic challenge to try to create the type of manufacturing base that you really need to empower or employ a lot of people at the entry-level stages. So I think educational opportunities and training is a top priority. Excuse me, it's a little hoarseness at times. Trying to get your foot into the door is always the biggest challenge. It wasn't easy for me to come up and work with the executive producer for this program to really get this show started. It took a lot of sacrifice, a lot of persistence to really get the ball where it is today. So I just look for the support of people out there to always go online to accesstv.org and go on to YouTube, where you can see the small report on a weekly basis, and in the very near future on a day-to-day basis. But basically just wanting people to know that we have to try to find a way to always make our situation in our cities and our states a lot more better than what exists from the past. Economic growth, political changes, up-and-coming presidential elections, senatorial elections, mayoral elections, governor elections. Many people don't even vote anymore. Last year we had one of the lowest voter turnouts in, I guess, history here in Hartford. And unfortunately, the apathy that many people have through the political system is they just don't see any benefit for me to go out there and do my civic duty. The same old line, it's not going to change anything. Everything is going to always be the same. Politicians are going to do what they do. So again, I think that's a common problem that you see all over the country. I think many people have become more disconnected with the political system. They feel more turned off with the political system. They are just caught up into their own world, trying to do the best that they can do. And I think one thing, as a resident here in Hartford, being born and raised, is you just learn how to survive. If it's anything else that you can't do, you do learn how to survive and try to play the game the best that you know how to play. But at some point, I would like to see the type of political empowerment and the real opportunities for the people at the low end of the social economic scales be increased. And it's a tremendous work that the people are going to have to be able to do, find a way to get into this economy, find a way to make some dramatic changes, have the faith, have the belief, have the commitment on both sides of the spectrum. And it's not an easy task. But hopefully at some point, the small report could start to direct these issues to the governor, to our senators here, to the right key people in the right key positions, to really find out exactly from them what is their take on the status of where we're going at, and do they think the type of opportunities and the resources can ever be translated from the low end or to the low end of the social economic scales, where it's just been non-existent for a very long time. There's no need of trying to sugarcoat it. We have some of the poorest cities here in Connecticut, Hartford, Bridgeport, but more than anything else, the residents are the ones that's poor. It's not that you don't have money flourishing coming into the cities. It's just designed and structurally in a way not to be in a position where the everyday person can get the type of opportunities that they need to really make the type of living that you would like to, make and what you need to make. I'm right outside Windsor, Connecticut, like I mentioned last year, a very thriving town, some of the best economic development areas in the state, the Day Hill Road section, a very strong business district. But no further than 7 miles from the Day Hill Road, you come right down off of exit 34 down to North Main Street, and you run into, again, the Department of Social Service buildings, where you see a lot of people out there waiting for assistance Monday through Friday. So the magic question is, how come 7 miles away from the capital city, basically up in Windsor, you can have a strong business district? And it's a very diversified town. You have a lot of African American people that have been able to move into that area, a lot of Caribbean people that has been able to move into Windsor, Connecticut, which is not that far from Bradley International Airport. But still, the disparities, the inequities, the wage gaps, the quality of life between the two areas, one is a town and one is a city, is just so much different. You feel at times very hopeless and dejected when you have to function on a day-to-day basis around so much, lost opportunities, so much chronic unemployment, underemployment. And when you go out to an area like Day Hill Road in Windsor, a strong business district, you feel uplifted. You see a lot of prosperities, and you see people functioning in a way that, they're reaching to some degree their full potential. So I don't know if the suburbs and the cities or the inner cities could ever become on an equal level, which I doubt. I just don't think in a capitalistic structure with your educational and other social factors that plays into the challenge or the problem, you can really have your cities making the type of development structure that you would like to see comparable to your surrounding suburbs. So I don't know, again, if that's challenge of regionalizing here in Hartford and making it one county would really solve that problem. But at some point, you got to be honest with yourself. You need about $50,000 to $75,000 here in Connecticut to really say you can be a homeowner, you can maintain your standard of living, you can send your children to good schools, you can live in a good quality of life. And many people here in inner cities, Hartford is one, as many, just is not in a position, don't have the criteria, don't have the belief to even make a quarter of that type of income. So again, what do you really do with these people? Do you just continue to dispose of them, let them fall through the cracks, let another generation of youth grow up, drop out of high school, drop into the streets? It's a major social problem that I think the president is going to have to look at one point, and he's done an excellent job with this new healthcare plan. But I think the opportunities that Martin Luther King was fighting for in his last days in the 60s of real economic empowerment and real equality on that level has just missed the boat for a lot of people. And again, you have to do your part. You have to find a way to get educated, find a way to get trained, find a way to move into this economy. But if you don't have the job market, you don't have the type of jobs that's being created with the wage levels that people would need to move into the middle class economy, then it's never going to happen. I mean, you're just going to have people growing up, taking the service sector jobs. Nothing wrong at times working 2 jobs, to try to build on yourself and go to school. But really, to be able to graduate high school and move into the workforce, and move into the middle class, you have to have some form of post-secondary education. You have to have the proper networking abilities. You have to have, to some degree, some political clout. There's a lot of different areas you have to have the so-called middle class standard of living here in America. And I'm pretty sure anywhere throughout the country you leave your centralized cities, like I'm here in Hartford, I'm downtown Hartford, and go directly into your neighborhood, you're going to see the same conditions. And then you go outside to your suburbs and you're going to see, home ownership, plenty of land space, plenty of development, plenty of opportunities, people feeling that they have something to fight for. They vote, they participate in the whole political systems. And then it's the opposite when you come into your inner cities. People just have given up. They don't even know who your candidates that's running for office. So I guess the next time I do the small report, I will try to have a guest that I could direct these questions and answers to, someone in a key position to really give you a full understanding on what it will take to make our whole country stronger from the bottom up. And the small report is just going to be a program that's going to try to deal with a lot of issues on a weekly basis until we get a day-to-day format to always give you the proper information that you need, the proper dialogue, and a better feedback on where things are really at. So again, I'd like to thank my executive producer for doing this program today, J. Stan McCauley. I am your producer and host, Jonathan Small. And to the next time, I would like everybody out there online to tune in to accesstv.org and go on YouTube. And this is the small report ending today, and everybody have a very blessed day. Thank you.